Hi, I'm Bernadine Gagnon.
And I'm Lauren Liria, and we're the co-directors of the Intensive Aphasia Program for Reading and Writing, part of the Edward D. Mizek Clinic for Communication Disorders here at Teachers College. The Intensive Aphasia Program for Reading and Writing has been running for 3 summers here at TC, and this summer it ran virtually for the first time. Our goal in this program is to provide intensive speech and language services to people with aphasia specifically interested in improving their reading and writing skills. As part of this program, people with aphasia attend therapy 2 days per week for 5 hours each day, receiving intervention in both one-on-one and group settings.
The Intensive Reading and Writing Aphasia Program follows the life participation approach to aphasia, which emphasizes life participation and satisfaction, as well as rehabilitation of functional communication skills, such as playing games, telling stories, reading and writing recipes. And as part of our program, the people with aphasia reach personal goals related to reading and writing.
This year, in their groups, people with aphasia and their graduate student clinician partners work together to write, record, and produce podcasts documenting their aphasia summer stories.
I hope you enjoy these aphasia summer stories.
Hi, my name is Jane and this is John, and we're students here at TC who have been working with a client at the Mizek Clinic. Our client suffered from a stroke a few years ago and has a language disorder called aphasia.
So over the past few weeks, we've been working with him to work on his reading and writing skills. And we thought that a fun way to show off all his hard work and accomplishments would be to write and record a podcast. So please enjoy this funny and heartwarming tale about Snapper.
Snapper's story. My mother's cat. She worked in a bank and someone had a litter of kittens and they were all going to take them to the pound. Why my mother chose the runt of the litter, who was deaf, had 2 colored eyes, and was polydactyl, is beyond me. We got a bell on the collar so we could hear the cat coming, and well as the birds. There was a church across the street that was having a buffet. The cat got into the food and was making trouble. The old ladies called the cops to get him out. They were trying to figure out whose cat it was. My mother said, "I have never seen that cat in my life." The cat bit the policeman and he let it go, and he jumped up on the police car and was on the siren, and my mother yelled, "Don't do that, Snapper," and she had to admit that that was the cat. I didn't own the cat until my mother called one day and said, "There's something wrong with the cat. He's crying." I went over. The cat was tangled in the wires in a big cabinet with a stereo and speakers. The cat was hanging from the wires and almost choked and was crying. I got wire cutters and cut it down. And from that day on, he was my best friend, and no one missed around with the cat after that.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Anastasia. This summer, in the Intensive Reading and Writing Aphasia program, our clients recorded their own podcast to improve their literacy and fluency skills.
My client is a big Mets fan, so she chose to make her podcast about her experience watching a Mets game with her nephew. Thank you for listening.
On the last day of the first Major League season, Pete Alonso hit his 53rd home run in his rookie season, breaking the tie with Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. My nephew, Jack, and I took the 7 train to Citi Fields. We were in the home run section. We got food at the concession stands for dinner. Afterwards, we sat down in our seats. Jack and I were hoping for Pete Alonso to hit his 53rd home run, but we didn't know for sure. As we were watching closely, he hit the home run. While he was running from base to base, we were cheering him on. Jack and I gave each other a high five. The amazing Mets had done it again. Jack and I shared something very special that night.
Hi, I'm Rebby.
And I'm Belle.
We are also student clinicians participating in Columbia Teachers College's Intensive Reading and Writing Aphasia program.
Today, our client will talk about his favorite James Bond movie, Casino Royale, in which he will discuss the plot of the movie and what he liked about it. We hope you all enjoy his podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about the James Bond movie, Casino Royale. I think it's one of the best movies in the James Bond franchise. It's about a British Secret Service agent, James Bond, who uncovers a link to Le Chiffre, a man who finances terrorist organizations. Le Chiffre plans to raise money in a high-stakes poker game, and Bond plays against him. Bond and Vespa work together in order to obtain the money for the game, but we find out later that Vespa is a double agent. Bond then spies on Vespa to find out if she will betray him. Vespa makes a deal with the terrorist organization to spare Bond's life for the money, and she dies. I like this movie because Daniel Craig is amazing. Vespa and Bond is a mature relationship. It is a brutal, dark movie compared to the other Bond movies. There are so many different James Bond movies. Each movie has its own great plot and qualities. Do you like the James Bond movies? What is your favorite?
Hi, I'm Rachel. And I'm Amanda. This summer, in the Intensive Reading and Writing Aphasia program, our clients wrote and recorded their own podcast to improve their literacy skills.
My client chose to make her podcast about the night market in Taipei, Taiwan. My client is originally from Taiwan and often travels there to visit with family. In this podcast, she discusses her experience buying dinner at the night market. Thank you for listening.
My food tree in Taiwan. Taiwan is most considerable place in the whole wide world. In Taiwan is most extensive public transportation network. You can take you to most cities and towns and attraction. I, by the show me, my youngest 2 years. No. My sister bike and sit beside her. I was January 20 to 7 last years. I was the night market happened from 5 p.m. to the 12 a.m. I was there for 4 hours. Being the night market is in Taipei, Taiwan. The night market is outside, the big and the crowded and the busy, and have smell like food. Buying the food, including soup, noodle, skinny tofu, and bubble tea, and hot spot. I have being win on the I have $8 US dollar in total. I have the dinner there. I so exciting. I like it.
Oh, I guess it stops recording. They'll just cut this part out.